Hey guys, this is CC Cycle 3, Week 9, and we are starting memory work review with the 15s. This is our last week of skip counting, and we're ending with a doozy counting by 15s. And so the tune for this week's chant is Ants Go Marching, the ants go marching. And so we took out our fingers like this, and we used them like ants marching up and down our arms as we sang the tune of Ants Go Marching. So 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120, 135, 150, 165, 180, 195, 210, 225. And that's our tune for the 15s. For English, we have to lay. So we made the distinction between to lay and to lie. To lie is when something's happening to yourself, right? It's not about a subject, right? It's not about an object, is what I should say. So to lie is when you lie down, right? I'm lying down. To lay is when you place something somewhere. So like a chicken, for instance, lays an egg. She lays her eggs and they come in a certain place to put it somewhere. So just to make that distinction between lay and lie. And our tune for this week's memory work is to lay, lay, lays, laid, laying, laid. And our chicken just laid all those eggs. We took a little silly chicken and she laid her eggs. Next week, we will see the difference with to lie. All right, and for history, we have tell me about the secession of the Southern states. The Compromise of 1850, the Fugitive Slave Act, and the Dred Scott decision preceded the secession of the Southern states. We did start out in class today. I drew up on the board the map of the United States, and I showed the 11 Southern states broken away from the United States. And of course, lots of the kids had questions on what is preceded, what does secession mean? Those are great questions. These are big words, and this is a heavy part of our history. So we kind of discussed a little bit about some of that meaning, but the big thing for the kids to know here was the secession means that they broke away from the United States. To secede means to break away from. So, the tune and the motions for this sentence sound like this. The Compromise of 1850, the Fugitive Slave Act, the Dred Scott decision preceded the secession of the Southern states. And that is our history for this week. Great week to be able to go into more detail about that time in our history and these events that led up to where we are today. With our Constitution and with equality and even leading into the Civil War. For Latin, we have verb rules, and we are learning Latin verbs have different endings called conjugations. And so for this, I got this idea. Oh goodness, I will link below the names. I'm combining two different YouTubers that had great suggestions for Latin. And I will link their names below because that's not coming to me right now, but I'll have that below. And this is just a combination of both of their ideas, which I thought were fabulous. So Latin verbs have different endings called conjugation. We had a train of all of our class, and the front person would say Latin verbs, would start us out with Latin verbs. And then we had the train, everyone else would say, have different endings called, and the caboose, which is the ending of our train, would say conjugations and hold up this sign. And we would actually sing it to the tune of Jesus Loves Me, because for the next 3 weeks, we're going to try to combine these Latin verb rules. And so the first person would hold up the sign for Latin verbs. The caboose would hold up the sign for conjugations. And it sounds like this. You want to sing it with me, Sparrow?
Yeah. I do too.
Latin verbs have different endings called conjugations. That's right. Then the person that was at the front would go to the back into the caboose, and they would sing it again, and then they would rotate who was on the back. Yes, you can. Let's say it together, okay? So, Latin verbs have different endings called conjugations. And that's how we did Latin for the Latin verb rules.
Mommy, I can't see.
For timeline, Byzantine Emperor Justinian. So we're going to make a B, ASLB, Byzantine Emperor, make a sash, and Byzantine Emperor Justinian. Then we have Benedict, another B, ASLB, Benedict and monasticism. That was where the monks, and even on the timeline picture, they have the cloaks that they wore had big hoods. So we're going to put a hood over our head. So Benedict and monasticism. And then we have Muhammad, ASLM, your 3 fingers over your thumb finger. Muhammad founds Islam. And this is this sign because it represents all the praying and the Muslim faith that's done kneeling on your knees. So you take these 2 knuckles and put them here for Islam, and we'll repeat that throughout the rest of our timeline when we reference Islam. Then we have Zanj in early Ghana and Africa. That was a time known for all of its trading. So this is the sign for trading. And then of course we have the beat of the drum. So we give a little beat with our hands. And then we have Franks defeat Muslims at the Battle of Tours. So take an ASLF, Franks defeat. So this is the sign for defeat. Just take that hand and push it down. The Muslims at the Battle of Tours. So Franks defeat the Muslims at the Battle of Tours. Then we have the Golden Age. We point to our ear like the golden earring, and then the sign for yellow from there for Golden Age. So Golden Age of Islam. Ooh. And then the last one is Vikings. V for Vikings, raid, and trade. And that's all of our signs for timeline. Today in class, we did that a few times with the motions, and then we actually took the cards down, mixed them up, and had the class work together to put them in order. And that was a lot of fun, doing it a little bit different today. For geography, we have states and capitals. Again, we are almost finished. This is our second to last week of learning our states and capitals. This week, we are learning about Salt Lake City, Utah. Then we're going to move down here to Phoenix, Arizona. And then over here to Carson City, Nevada, Sacramento, California. And then we made a note, because on our maps in school, they have Honolulu somewhere over here and Alaska right here. Honolulu, we made a note that it's actually closer to like where I'm pointing right now off the map. But Honolulu, Hawaii is the 6th place that we learned today, or the 5th place, sorry. So once again, it's Salt Lake City, Utah, Phoenix, Arizona, Carson City, Nevada, Sacramento, California, and then way over here is Honolulu, Hawaii. And those are our states and capitals for week 9. Then we have our last but not least, science. And so what are 4 parts of the lymph system? And we're going to sing this to Missy Wilson's tune again. And the 4 parts of the lymph system are lymph vessels, lymph nodes, spleen, and thymus. And so it sounds like this. I need to get a little bit higher so you can see a little bit better maybe. So what are 4 parts of the lymph system? 4 parts of the lymph system are lymph vessels. Lymph vessels go all through our body. Lymph nodes, spleen, and thymus. And so that is all of our memory work for week 9. I hope that's helpful. Hope you guys have a great week reviewing all of this information. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, looking forward to seeing you next week, week 10.